Hello everybody and welcome back to the United Stand and welcome to Mohamed Kudus, why he could work at Manchester United and why Erik ten Hag wants this player, has scouted this player, he's worked with him before at Ajax, he's touted him now to come in potentially in the summer and how he could work at Manchester United, how he could fit in or why perhaps he might not work. I think he would definitely work. Is he a priority? I'm not sure. Get in the comments down below what you think after we go through this video. But Mohamed Kudus, he's 22 years old, 5'9", and he's currently playing as a centre forward at Ajax. But realistically, his natural position is the number 10. And even Erik ten Hag, when Erik ten Hag managed him at Ajax, he actually played him quite a lot deeper. Sometimes he played him as a number 8 in the midfield, on the right-hand side of midfield, on the left-hand side of midfield. He can also play as a winger at the World Cup for his country. We saw him play on the right wing and he was really dangerous, kept cutting players up through his dribbling. So he's a very, very versatile type player. He said himself that he prefers to play the number 10 and he's not really as much of a centre forward, but he has been playing that for Ajax this season and he's been actually being very, very successful at it. So, first of all, I know everyone wants to see how many goals he's scored and what assists he's got, so we'll get on to his stats and what he's done this season playing as a centre forward. So as you can see here, it's 32 games he's played, 16 goals, 3 assists, his XG per 90 is 0.58 and his dribbles per 90 is 5.47. And the reason I put his dribbles in there is because that's such a strong factor in his game. He's a brilliant ball carrier and he's great at getting past players and taking them on and getting past players through dribbling. He's an exciting player to watch. But as you can see, not too bad there on the goals and assists front. You would expect maybe as a centre forward to maybe doing a slight bit more, especially, no disrespect, but in the Eredivisie. But we saw Antony's numbers weren't the highest before he came to Manchester United, and he's starting to settle in really well and looks comfortable in this team. So if you look at him overall as a player, there is no doubting how talented this player is, and he was going to go to Everton in the summer if you didn't know about that. He was nearly going to go to Everton, but that deal collapsed, and I think it's a good thing that this deal collapsed because I think Kudus is definitely going to get snapped up by a top club. At 22 years old, there is so much, the world is at his feet really, he's so talented, but will he work at Manchester United is the main factor of this video and what we are going to discuss. So we'll get on to his strengths, and personally for me, I don't see him as a centre forward, but a lot of people have been saying he could be the perfect centre forward for us because one of his biggest strengths is facilitating the players around him. So at Ajax, as he's been playing in that centre forward role, what he's known to be doing is dropping in and kind of basically outnumbering the opposition's midfield. So he's dropping in, kind of drawing players out, and then it allows other players on his team around him to kind of get in behind and fill out positions what he's occupying by taking up other players. And first of all, the first thing that comes to my head, and it's probably come to your head as well, is Marcus Rashford. This would be brilliant for the likes of Marcus Rashford because I was talking about it the other day. In how many teams do you see a very high scoring winger that's basically a forward and also an out-and-out number 9 forward scoring goals all the time as well? Like, it's very, very rare. I don't think I could name one partnership in European football, if you can name it, getting down below. Kind of that sort of relationship. So Rashford with an out-and-out scoring number 9, for example, like Haaland, if there's a partnership out there like that, I can't really see it much in Europe, but that doesn't mean I don't think it can happen, but we've also got to look at other options, and Kudus could be a great player who can play that number 10, can play the centre forward role, that again is going to facilitate the star player at the moment, which is Marcus Rashford, who is basically scoring the same amount of goals as what you'd expect a striker to score for Manchester United, and he's out there playing on the left, also can play centre forward as well. And we know Erik ten Hag really likes his versatile forwards. Marcus Rashford's played across all 3 positions, Martial can play in different positions, Sancho's done number 10, he's done right wing, he's done left wing, Antony's moved about, Bruno's gone onto the right wing. He really wants flexible forwards that he can change, so he can change the tactics mid-game or before a game to make sure it's suited to how he wants to play and also what is going to be the biggest strength for Manchester United that game. And the only problem with this, in my perspective, is it's the likes of the Nkunku, the Havertz type player where you don't really know where to put them, you don't really know where they're going to fit in. They're super, super talented, but they're not really an out-and-out number 9. We've already got players that can play on the left and the right, so where is he actually going to play? And to that I would say he definitely could do a job in midfield for us, and I wouldn't be surprised if Erik ten Hag did use him for that. Maybe in the Premier League it might be a little bit too physical, but I think Kudus is he's very good physically, and this is why he's so good at carrying the ball as well. So another strength of Kudus is he's a brilliant ball carrier. So basically he can pick up the ball, he can drive through players, and it's very rare he gets tackled, and that's because he's great technically. His first touch, the ball sticks to his foot like glue most of the time, but he's also got a really low centre of gravity, and he's actually really physically good. Like he's very strong, and he can kind of shove players off him. He's not the one that's going to kind of be lightweight and get shoved over to the other side of the pitch. The way sometimes maybe Fred or Sancho gets shoved off the ball a little bit, Kudus isn't like that. He's very strong, and he's very good with the ball at his feet, driving through the midfield. So I think that could be an option for Erik ten Hag. Ultimately, he's just a very, very versatile type player, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did kind of move him back into a number 10, number 8 role. But then again, you have Bruno, you have Eriksen. We still need to sign a midfielder. Even if we did sign Kudus, I think we still have to sign a box-to-box midfielder. So it's whether he is a massive, massive priority for us. As a winger, he is brilliant. He can get crosses into the box. He drives at players. He's got speed, and he's very good at kind of cutting in and between players and dragging players, like I said, out of position, kind of swarming to him because he's that good on the ball, which leaves other players open in the middle of the box. And again, that could be brilliant for the likes of Marcus Rashford. But his shooting is actually brilliant as well. As you can see on the picture behind me, he's got a very, very good shot on him. This is very, very well known without Europe. When he's through on goal, usually he's going to score. He's outscoring his XG, so that's kind of another indicator as how good he is when he gets his eye on the ball. And this season specifically at Ajax, as he's been playing the centre forward role, what's massively improved for Kudus, what's massively improved for him is his anticipation in and around the box, and his intelligence in and around the box as well. He's become much better at getting himself in goal scoring positions to be able to score them goals. He's got much more of a striker's instinct, and he's getting himself in and around the box in the right positions, and he's also making brilliant runs in behind as well. He's an intelligent player in the sense he can sniff out where the danger's going to be. He can sniff out on where to get to into the box and where his runs are going to cause the most danger, and that's what he's been doing this year for Ajax. And again, he's a brilliant player. He's doing brilliantly this season, and it's the type of player that Manchester United and other teams around Europe should definitely be looking at. Looking at weaknesses in Kudus' game, when I was kind of looking at him and really kind of analysing him, the only couple of weaknesses I could find, as a 22-year-old, this is brilliant because you can definitely kind of work on these and evolve from these, is obviously aerial ability. He's not the best in the air, he's not the tallest, but I mean, Marcus Rashford wasn't the best in the air a little while ago. He used to blink when balls came at him in the air, and he used to avoid headers. And now he's heading goals in for fun. He's brilliant. He scored some brilliant headers this season. So Benny McCarthy could get working with him. Erik ten Hag can work his magic, and I'm sure that could change very, very quickly. So aerial ability isn't the best. And also a lot of Ajax fans as well that watch him week in, week out, that I've kind of looked at, and what they say about Kudus is sometimes it's his final decision making in and around the box. So when he gets to the box, I've said he's very intelligent in getting himself into positions and getting shots on target and finding the back of the net. What sometimes lets him down is he'll do all the hard work to get to that possession, get into the box, and sometimes the final decision won't be the right one. Maybe he'll shoot instead of passing. Maybe he'll pass it when he should have shot. Maybe he'll try a fancy pass when realistically there was something better on for him. So sometimes in and around the final third, in the final transition of play, the decision making isn't 100%. But I also think that's something that comes with age, and that's something that comes with experience. And going up to the next level, I'm sure Erik ten Hag would be able to coach that out of him. But get in the comments down below what you think of Kudus. For me personally, I don't think he's a priority, but I think he's a brilliant, brilliant player, and I'm glad it's the type of player that we are looking at, because he would facilitate Rashford very, very well. He would work fluidly in our forward line. It isn't going to be the solution to an out-and-out number 9, in my opinion, but it definitely adds great squad depth to the team. It can add a player who can play in midfield. It can add a player that can play up front. For example, if a number 9's injured, or we wanted to play a different type of game where we're going to be playing Rashford in behind a lot, he could facilitate that very, very well. So I do think he's a player that would definitely be successful under Erik ten Hag at Manchester United. But I mean, Ajax are probably thinking, will you stop raiding us? Will you stop coming getting our players off us? But do you know what? If Erik ten Hag knows these players well, he thinks they can be successful, and he sees that in them, he's got the vision, then why not go for another player that's playing at Ajax and in the Eredivisie? I mean, he went for Martinez and he's been unbelievable. He went for Anthony and he's settling in well. Every time he's fit, Erik ten Hag plays him. So Erik ten Hag, he's been brilliant in the transfers in his first season. So if this is the type of player he wants, I think we should trust Erik ten Hag and go with it. But what do you make of Kudus? And get in the comments down below whether you would want him at Manchester United in the summer. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you got more of a grip on kind of what Kudus can bring to Manchester United and what he's going to bring if we did sign him. Make sure you like, make sure you get your comments in down below. I'll reply to a few of them and I'll see you in the next one.